All right, so good afternoon, Land for Success members, community. I'm so excited that if you are here joining us this afternoon. We have a very special individual with us today, a very special guest. This individual I have tremendous amount of respect for. You're going to learn a little bit about her background of what she did in the social services industry prior to what she's doing today. Not only is she in the financial services industry helping individuals and families become financially free, but you're going to love what she's doing with the global South Asian women community. Everyone talks about empowering others, empowering women to succeed. Well, this individual is truly out there doing it. And we're so excited to have her as a lifetime member here with us at Land for Success. But not even just that, just her being here to be able to add value to our community and our members. So please help me to welcome Neru to our Facebook Live today. Neru, welcome.
Thank you, Gordon. I'm so happy to be here. I am such a firm believer and supporter in what you guys have going on at Landed for Success, what you guys stand for, networking without boundaries. And it's been a huge pleasure to be a part of the Landed for Success community and just to be in the presence of people who want to move others forward. Yourself and JJ Akantan. And Jay's become one of my greatest allies and friends. So it's just such a pleasure to be with you guys and to be on this platform today.
Well, that's amazing. Neru, Jay is such a humble individual. And for the folks who are watching that don't know JJ Akantan, he's actually one of the co-founders here at Land for Success. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And in fact, I would have never met you if it wasn't for Jay. Mm-hmm. And you have brought us, I can't even count the amazing individuals who have become members here at Land for Success. One of them, Jody Lynn Craven, for example, and the list just goes on. So folks, if you're watching, what I'm going to do is while Neru's going to share with you in a second a little bit about herself. If you could do that, Neru, that'd be amazing. Like, who is Neru before we get to what you're doing today and how you got here? I'm just going to go on my phone and share this out to a few other social media platforms at the same time. Would that be okay?
That is perfect. That's exactly the way we do it at Global South Asian Women and Public Allies. So
yes,
go ahead.
Yes, we just do it old school, right?
Yeah,
I have my kids are millennials, and they're like, "Dad, you should get with technology a little bit better." I'm so okay. I'll just do my best. So Neru, tell us a little bit who is Neru? What's interesting for you that we should know?
Yeah, and I'm really happy to be hosting the November 24th in-person meetup on the 24th in the evening. I'll be moderating, and the reason I got the ability to moderate and be a part of such an amazing event and bring so many people together is because of all the work that I've put in the past. So for about 16 years, I've been a social services worker. Prior to that, I even worked in immigration. I was an immigration practitioner, and I realized that wasn't the place I wanted to be. So I merged into social services because I was helping a lot of refugee individuals get into the right place, and I was finding out about their stories and trauma. And when I got into the social services space, I loved it, and I stayed in it. I'm still in it. And it just continues to give back to me. And I've always volunteered, even though I worked in the field. I sat on many boards and committees. But when I was sitting on boards and committees, and while I was sitting in my space, in my positions, I realized there was a lot of financial literacy that was missing. A lot of regular people were ending up on my caseload. At some points, more than 60% of my caseload was regular people, especially seniors. Wow. And what it was a lack of financial literacy, and they didn't have the proper tools. They didn't have the proper things to find out what they could do to prepare themselves financially. So what I did is I was running a program for life skills, and I was trying to find somebody to do some financial literacy. And unfortunately, I went and knocked on some big bank doors, And unfortunately, they said, this is not who we serve. This is not what we do. Low income clients, we can't find the time to do this. We can't give a staff member to do this. And I found a nice lady named Karina Wingerick, um, who helped me with that program. And she helped me do some financial literacy for some amazing people who really needed the help. And then she said, Neru, why don't you do this? And then
Wow.
I hummed and hawed a bit, and and what she got me to do is sit down and do a plan for myself and learn the financial literacy and how it applied to even my own life. She showed me my own holes in my boat, and then I realized that this is something I'm really passionate about. And at first, when I got into it, I'm like, oh, I'm not a numbers person. But as I did it more and more, I absolutely love numbers now. I love financial literacy, and it's so attached to social services, because the reason you become dependent on the system is because you're not prepared. It's not like rich people don't have problems. It's not like rich
Right.
people don't go through bad days. It's not like they don't have people pass away. It's about
Yeah.
preparedness. It's about leaving, family money,
Yes.
insurances, and it's about leaving, preparing yourself in case you get hurt or sick. It's just more and more literacy, access to the right products, put you in the right position. And that's where I decided I want to be. And today I still continue to give back. I am the co-founder and the director of operations at Global South Asian Women. We're a women's empowerment group and organization. We run multiple types of programming, and we're just getting started on bringing more and more things. I'm also the director of engagement at a small nonprofit, not so small anymore, called Public Allies Inc. Our reach worldwide is 400,000 people.
Wow.
And I also volunteer for other agencies and community partners. I work along with them to give back to our community, and I help people with their finances so they can get in better positions and not
That's
end up on
incredible.
caseloads.
Wow. Wow. I think your plate just got a little bit busier as you were sharing all that. You already know my mind never stops working, Naru, and I'm already thinking about a joint venture that Public Allies and Lander for Success may be able to do together. So I hope I get the opportunity to present that to you. But man, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, out of all you said, where do I start with questions? I want to go back to your years working as social services. Okay. If you could, in 30 words or less, describe what did you love best about social services?
Giving back to people and empowering other people to move forward.
Wow. So giving back and empowering people to move forward. Because I know some people say, well, I was sick and tired of what I was doing, and that's why I moved on. Well, not you, right? Because you love what you do, and you still love what you do.
I
In
still,
social.
yeah, I took a small hiatus for about a year, and then I'm like, wait, I miss social services. I miss giving back, and I miss giving back in that way and all the empowerment pieces of it. So that was just, and this is, I didn't realize that that's why I did financial services, is so I can be more effective in social services.
That's crazy. So you're doing financial services so you can be more effective in social service. What do you mean by that? Dive a little bit deeper into that for us.
So when you look at us as a system, as Canadians, we have a financial system, we have a social safety net, and for some reason in school we don't learn a lot of the stuff we need to be financially fit. So we don't actually need to use the social safety net in the times that are bad for us. So what happens when you learn both systems, you actually become more effective for regular people. For example, I sat down with actually a lady that I got introduced to at the event, the last event that we had for Landed for Success, a networking event. I got introduced to this very, very sweet woman, and what I told her about was RDSP, which is a registered disability savings plan.
Disability. Yes.
Yes. So the government actually has a match program that helps our people with disabilities save for their future. And it's like I think it's like a 3-to-1 match type thing. Don't
Wow.
quote me on the numbers on it, but you could get up to $90,000 from the Canadian government
Wow.
for matching up to the age of 49 if you have a registered disability. Can you imagine, Gordon, what if I said I could give you $90,000 up to the age of 49 if you have a disability that'll help you save for your future? Wouldn't that be amazing if you knew about that and you
So
had
let
the
me ask you
disability?
this, what percentage of people do you think actually know about that?
They actually said the statistics show that 1/3 of people who can access this programming actually access it.
So only
Um,
1/3 access it and 1/3
mhm.
don't. You know, we have we have a family practice inside of Variety Village. You know Variety Village?
I get lost in Toronto a little bit, but I'll
Uh,
learn my way around.
if you get a chance, go check it out. The facility's been there
I
for
love.
years, and it's for it started out with for athletes with disabilities.
Hmm.
Many of our wheelchair athletes you'll see at Special Olympics or Paralympics, weightlifters and swimmers. You'll see a lot of them probably work out of Variety Village. And now it's actually become
Wow,
a facility where it's not just for disabled individuals, but able-bodied individuals that are all working out in the same facilities.
that's
So,
amazing.
so you're saying to me 1/3 of the individuals that I walk by,
Actually, 2/3 of the individuals that you
2/3,
walk
yeah,
by actually don't
2/3 that I
know.
walk by don't know they have access to that. So share with us in case somebody's watching and listening and thinking, I may know someone like that. What is it again? And how can they access that in a
Well, what
simplistic
they
way?
can do is they have to fill out certain forms.
Yeah.
I would say that access a financial professional. You can contact me for more information. Actually,
Yeah.
don't do it myself. I outsourced it out to another one of the
Love
brokers
it.
that works in our office. His name is John McKenzie. I
Okay.
outsource it out to him. And what you do is you fill out the forms with your doctor, submit them to Revenue Canada. And once Revenue Canada approves you, you take these forms to a approved registered disability savings plans professional group that actually does the investments, and they invest
Yes.
that money for you, and they work alongside the government to be able to get you grants and access to this type of programming. And keep in mind, as we discuss this, this is only one type of program that I'm telling you about.
Wow.
There's
So
a lot of things out there that regular people like you and I don't even know that exists, right?
we just don't know, right? So it's like taxes. Like when we were kids, and we say what our parents don't know won't hurt them. But I guess when it comes to
Yeah.
taxes, or when it comes to what you just talked about, what we don't know could hurt us, right?
Yeah, well, we
Yeah.
like basically just 2 days ago, I was sitting down with an amazing lady from Global South Asian Women named Amandeep Thind, and she's a
Yes,
CPA and a business coach. And I'm gonna bring her over to this side as well. Don't you worry, Gordon.
that's amazing. When
She's
you said
amazing.
Amandeep Singh, I was thinking of my friend Amandeep Singh. I guess
Oh,
same names, right?
same names, same names. So she was talking about she's a CPA, and we were talking about financial getting financially fit with your
Yes,
business, and we talked about
yes,
corporate insurance. So
yes.
many people don't know, when you have a corporation, there's something called corporate insurance, and how much money you can build into your corporation. You could
Wow.
retire on that money. It can be additional, and it's not taxable money. Um, a lot of people are not accessing the full extent of what they're capable of accessing. And you're putting your money in places that are traditional, and sometimes you're just keeping it in the bank, which is okay. Everything's okay. There's a
Yes,
space for everything in your portfolio, but why not maximize? Why not diversify? And this is what I love teaching regular people. Whether you have a budget of $25 or whether you have a budget of $25,000 to invest, it doesn't matter. You just have to find time and space to put it in the right places. And this goes for everybody. This goes for the individuals that have money and don't have money, and people like Jody Lynn Craven,
yes.
who I absolutely love introducing to you guys. And I feel so happy that she's a part of the Landed for Success foundation and fabric now.
Yes.
And she
Yes.
teaches
Thank you.
people
Thank
how
you
to
for
maximize that mindset.
Yeah. Well, thank you for introducing us to her. In fact, Jody is, I was just talking to her, she's organizing a We Pop Up for November 22nd, where we're going to be talking about how to start a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like how to use low cost strategies like podcasting or Facebook Live. You just mentioned, you guys took Puppy Allies and now you have 400,000 people worldwide that you reached. So how do you do that? And then Jason Hunt, who's a lifetime member here as well, he's going to talk about how do you add more fuel to the fire? What if you could use paid ads to grow your business? He took a landscaping company during the pandemic from 200,000 in sales to 1.3 million
Mm-hmm.
in sales, right? So that's what I love about our community. And so I'd love to have you come back again,
Yeah.
and we could deep dive into some of what you talked about in more details. But in the meantime, you have an event coming up where you're actually going to be the moderator
Mm-hmm.
at the next virtual speed networking event. You've got some individuals on that panel, CIBC, who's in the mortgage industry, a real estate broker who's got 500 agents, and you also have Roy Cleves, who's the accidental real estate millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's so much value, learning from somebody like Roy, who didn't go bankrupt, but he was upside down and in debt, and look at him today. And then you talking about financial services. So can you share with us a little bit about what is this event coming up on November 24th? Because you're going to be moderating that event.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So as COVID, as we all get our shots and things open up, we're actually going to have it in person at the Netwin Place. You as Scarborough, all the details are going to be below. Get your tickets, join us, and I'll be moderating a panel of individuals, of professionals that not only have moved themselves forward, but help move others forward in their leadership and their style. And they've changed careers, they've merged careers, and I get the opportunity to host that panel and ask individuals questions about how they move forward. The opportunity to have the audience engage with us and learn tips, learn ways that you can move forward and you can do the things that they did, despite all the adversity that they faced, and that how they found their light in that adversity and how they move forward in it. So I'll be hosting that.
That's amazing. Wow. You know, Neru, Lashika is she's the sponsor for the event with CIBC.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you know her story much better than I do. In fact, I think did you guys are doing something, or you were doing something together with Public Allies. Could you maybe share with the folks a little bit who she is and why they need to come and meet and learn from her
Of
that
course.
day?
You know what? I actually am super happy that you asked. I was like, oh, I hope he asked about Lekshika because I know her the best.
Yeah.
So Lekshika, Global South Asian Women, she's a member at Global South Asian Women. We recently had Global South Asian Women Diwali Bazaar, and again, happy Diwali to everybody today.
I wish I could have been invited to that event. I saw the folks with their dresses on and they're dancing, and I'm like, oh, how come we weren't invited?
The guys were invited, but hopefully we'll do an event. We'll do a family event soon with where all the guys invited and you guys can dress to the max, or we'll just put you guys in saris next time and you can dance with us. It was
There you
super,
go.
super fun. We actually had the people from the next door party come over to join us as well, the ladies from there. So it was super, super fun. But Lakshika was a part of that event, and we got the
Yeah.
opportunity at the time to get to know her. And she's also going to be presenting at Global South Asian Women. She's going to be doing a webinar for us on why CIBC, why you need to understand the mortgage industry, and why you need to look at all the tips and tricks that are out there to get the best mortgage rates and how to maximize your life through the mortgage, because your mortgage is often the biggest purchase of your life. And when we're talking about Lakshika, she is one of the shyest, most humblest individuals. And when she spoke to me, she told me she's only been at CIBC and mortgaging for 1 year. Prior to this, she was actually in the world of social services with me, not
Yes.
with me, but alongside me somewhere else. And she worked with individuals with disabilities, and we had a really candid conversation. She's worked through a lot of issues, and she's actually worked through a lot of tribulations, and she had to reinvent herself. She looked at herself while she was on that leave, and she said to herself, like, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Is this who I want to be for the rest of my life? And she said that she loves sales and she loves to help people,
Yes.
and she combined the two, and she went into mortgages. And in the short time that she's been with CIBC, less than a year, she is a mogul of her trade. She's closed
She's
$10
done
million in
amazingly
sales.
well. Yeah, amazingly
Yes,
well. Yeah.
yes, and amazing amount of knowledge. We were sharing tidbits back and forth on information. And she told me stuff that I've never known before. And we were just talking about it. And while we were talking about it, she said, a lot of people think that I've been doing this for years and years. No, it's been
Yes.
less than a year. And she also told me about how she overcame her adversity with mental health.
Wow, that's incredible. You know, Neru, she was sharing with me, like you mentioned, despite how she's only been in the business a short period of time, I'm really impressed with the success she's already having. And she was sharing with me, you know, somebody buying a home for the first time, whether it's a first time buyer with 5% down or an immigrant coming to Canada needing to buy a home, or somebody with a high net worth, and you know you're in the financial services industry, and you work with individuals that have a high net worth, but maybe they don't show income because they have a good accountant.
Hmm.
And so she's got all kinds of mortgage programs. So I really encourage people to come out. But more importantly, I love the fact that our community grows by word of mouth because you introduced her to us. And this is kind of a selfish question on our part because I see the successes and the growth of what you have with what you're doing in Global South Asian women. What if you could share maybe with the folks that are watching right now? I'm going to put you on the spot. Would that be okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead.
If what's maybe one thing that you love best yourself about Land Up for Success?
Ooh, that I can't pick one thing, but if I had to, I'd say networking without borders.
Wow. Say that again. Networking
Without
without
borders.
what do you mean by that?
Well, a lot of times when you have networking groups, you have specific types of groups that work on helping people move forward and meeting each other. Sometimes there's restrictions, and sometimes there's lines that draw you apart. There is no lines that draw you apart at Landed for Success. You guys appreciate different types of businesses. You guys appreciate all types of businesses and all types of individuals, and you help them
Mm,
build themselves and showcase what they do and how it can be significant. They're not just looking for a specific, sorry, not them. Sorry, you guys are not just looking to showcase one particular type of person
mhm.
with certain types of skills that caters to a certain market. You guys believe in showcasing everybody and anybody and helping them find their market. And that is networking without borders.
I love that. I love that. Networking without borders.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to back up for a sec. You mentioned Lakshika earlier in adversity. So I'm just thinking out loud, maybe volume three, Landed for Success.
She should be an author. I would
Yeah.
read her story.
Or you would have to be a social worker with adversity to be in the book.
Yeah, it could get super niche and super specific. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Napoleon Hill talks about adversity, right? He says, every adversity, every heartache, every failure yields a seed of equal or greater opportunity. In all these different careers you just mentioned, and all these different uh, charities and nonprofits you're involved in right now, what would you say maybe would you be able to share with maybe an adversity that you may have experienced and how you eventually overcame that adversity?
Definitely. Well, when I moved to Toronto, I didn't know anybody really. I was trying to pick out ways to be myself. I was trying to figure it all out. I got married. I merged into a brand new field. After being in social services for so long, I didn't know my way around the city, and I still get lost.
Yeah.
And it was about putting myself out there, finally saying, and I really wasn't on Facebook much. I didn't even have a LinkedIn
Yeah.
account. Like, I still don't like social media the best
Yes.
either. But I just made a decision, and one day I met some amazing people. And I met this one lady named Karen Shaw, and she introduced me to JJ Kantan, and
Wow.
Jay introduced me to Aisha, who's the executive director of Public Allies, and we co-founded Global South Asian Women together.
Wow.
And now Jay, Aisha, Amipa, these people that I met through
Yes.
Jay, and making that decision, that final decision, just how Napoleon Hill says you have to make that decision. I made the decision to
Yes.
put myself out there. I met some amazing people whom I moved forward, and they moved me forward. So that was my biggest adversity. I felt lost.
Wow.
I felt scared. I had a lot of grief of leaving
No,
my
come
own
on.
home.
Yes, you look like you have so much confidence. How could you have felt lost?
And you know what? That's a lot of people. When a lot of people come to places like Landed for Success, they need something. There's missing something out of it. And confidence is just a perception. Even though I feel confident, I might not be. And that's a part of being imposter, right? You feel like you have imposter syndrome. So you might project that confidence. Today I can say that I project that confidence and I feel confident, but when I started, I definitely didn't. But what I did know is that I wasn't going to give up. And I made that decision, and I aligned myself to people who I choose to move forward and who want to move me forward. And that's what Landed for Success is about again, is moving people forward and helping them with their confidence.
That's amazing. Wow.
Mhm.
Well, folks, if you guys are watching, this is Neru, our special guest, and she will be hosting our for our live event. I mean, how many of you are excited being able to go to a live event? Again, that's November 24th. If you would like to join us, there's limited tickets available. Please reach out to Neru. Okay, like if you wanted the tickets, she's got 10 tickets available that she can give out as a complimentary gift. So if you're a friend of Neru's or a client, you're thinking I'd like to attend, please reach out to her, because we can only have 100 people at the event, right? Because of social distancing rules. So if you can't use it, please let somebody else. And even though it's a free event, don't take it for granted, because you and I have seen individuals charge hundreds and thousands of dollars for the same type of event and information and networking. I think about Salva, who, and here's somebody who's grown from scratch to a brokerage that has 400 or 500 real estate agents that he's helping become financially free.
Mhm.
Just meeting him, or Kula, who's helped not only build multi-million-dollar business for himself, but he's helping others how to do that. So
Mhm.
you mentioned Napoleon Hill forming that mastermind, that master alliance.
Mhm.
I really believe that that's an opportunity for anybody to create any one of our events. And if you guys want to get a hold of Naru, I will be posting, when we post this all over social media, we'll have her contact information. You'll be able to get in touch with her directly. If you need to get a hold of us to get in touch with Naru, we're happy to help connect you with her as well. Naru, before you go, I've got a couple of questions for you. Would that be okay?
Mhm.
I just want the folks to get to know you a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot again for some questions here.
Mhm.
Okay, what is your favorite color?
Ooh, green.
Green.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite ice cream?
Ooh, I like the maple pecan one, but all ice creams are good though.
Pecan. I love pecan. I usually like pecan pie, but maple pecan, I'm gonna have to try
Like,
that.
I don't know what it's called exactly, but when I tasted it, I was like, wow, this is like a little piece of heaven.
Yeah, my sister-in-law makes for American Thanksgiving weekend, she makes the most incredible sweet potato pie with pecan. Ever tried that?
No, but I'm willing and
It,
open.
it is so incredible. Last question. Okay, this one's tough. Okay. If you could wave a magic wand right now and do one thing for Neru, not somebody else. Okay, because I know like you have such a servant's heart. You're always thinking, how can I help somebody else? What can I do for somebody else? Okay. So the question is, if you could wave a magic wand and you could do something right now for Neru, what would you do?
I would. Wow, that's a hard one. I struggle with those kinds of questions. I think for myself, I'd make myself more confident. I'd work on my self-development. I'd want to become the person that I want to be and love myself the most. I'm the most critical person about myself, so I would love me.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's deep.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I'm in
I
a
love
safe
that.
environment. Why not?
Yeah. Well, how can we expect? My mentor once said to me, how can we expect anyone to love us if we don't love ourselves first?
Yes.
Right. So it's not about an egotistical thing where we say, hey, I love myself, but right. You talked about confidence earlier. I'd love to have you come back another time. We can talk about confidence,
Hmm.
self-confidence, self-doubt, right? So there's too many
Hmm.
people who are stuck with that. And so I love what you just said, right? How do you love yourself first?
Yes. I'd love to just like be like, okay, waved a magic wand and I'm like, oh, I did it. Like, oh
Yeah,
my God. But yeah, it's one of those things I think a lot of people struggle with.
yeah. Wow. Well, Neru, thank you so much for being here. And folks, if you guys are watching, if you please watch the replay as well from beginning to end, and come and meet Neru in person. I mean, if you enjoyed this short little conversation here, come meet her in person November 24th. Okay, she'll be hosting and moderating our live event on November 24th. Any final thoughts you would like to leave for the folks before we go?
Nothing much. Just enjoy yourself. Join Landed for Success November 24th event and call me. I have 10 free tickets, complimentary tickets from Landed for Success. So thank you for so much for that. And I look forward to meeting everyone in person and I look forward to helping you move forward, just how Landed for Success has helped me move forward. And that's what it's all about. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Neru, thank you so much. I want to thank everyone who's been watching. And until the next time, have an amazing, amazing day.